Energy and electricity plays a fundamental role in modern society. It starts with a kettle of tea in the morning, getting to work with transport, heating, cooling, industrial processes. Energy and electricity basically run as a red thread throughout our society, and I would say all over the world.
There is a very strong need for clean and affordable energy. It's actually driven by a lot of different things. It's about urbanization. It's also about climate change. And the weather is getting more extreme, so there's more need for air conditioning, but also for heating. And finally, the digital technologies, AI, cloud computing, they all require more electricity, and we all want that to be generated green. So we're going through a pivotal and a big change in the world to be able to deliver that green energy.
Wärtsilä has a 190-year-long history. We have, of course, faced changing societies, transformations of the past, and yet I think the challenges that we are facing now going forward is probably some of the most important and some of the biggest ones we ever faced, and it's related to the decarbonization of our two industries, energy and marine.
A massive power outage has knocked out electricity in the city.
Emergency meetings are being held by the government after the outage.
Recent crises and blackouts happening around the world has forced nations to look at how to actually develop more flexible and resilient power system.
Energy transition is not only about affordable and sustainable power, it's also to make sure it's there when we need it at the most.
We need electricity 24/7, 365 days a year. Therefore, this is where you need to have balancing power.
When you design a new sustainable power system for the future, you need to start by adding renewables like solar and wind, flexible technologies to enable more renewables in the system.
Now, renewables are great, but they are intermittent. The sun doesn't always shine, the wind doesn't always blow. And this balancing power is needed to make sure we can all have the energy that we need 24/7. And there are two, you could say, tools in the balancing toolbox. One is the flexible power generation, and another tool is battery storage. And these two solutions, they are actually complementary. The power plants cater to longer power swings, versus the battery is more on the short term.
Wind and solar provide the lowest cost of electricity the world has ever seen. And together with balancing power solutions, whether that's battery storage or engine power plants, we actually have an affordable and you could say reliable energy mix that we can provide to the world. A green energy future is in reach, powered by renewables and stabilized by flexible engine power plants and battery storage.
Most people are familiar with the term work-life balance. We need to have the best optimal harmony between these two elements. So if we apply the same concept to the power sector, the balancing in the power sector means that you need to have the right optimal balance between renewable energy supply and balancing power.
These technologies don't only help us to grow the renewable part of the energy mix, but it also helps to build more firm and resilient grid stability to be able to serve all the households and all the industry with reliable power.
The engines power plants are designed for the clean energy future. We have worked on improving efficiency and also the ability to ramp up and ramp down in order to have the flexibility that the system needs. We're also working on sustainable fuels, both carbon neutral and zero carbon fuels. The sustainable fuels that the engines are able to run on already today is like biofuels or 25% hydrogen. In the future, we are working on that the engines will also be able to run on zero carbon fuels like hydrogen, like ammonia.
Today, power system is more complex than ever. The energy transition is already happening now. It's not something that is in theory. So this is why we need to use power system modeling to help us plan for a better and more flexible future. Power system modeling is actually you create a virtual map of the electricity system of a particular country or city or a company asset using a simulation software. Using publicly available data such as gas prices, weather forecasts, and so on and so forth. Putting all these constraints into the model, you let the software tell you what will be the optimal mix between renewable energy and balancing power to achieve that particular scenario.
So we have done a power system analysis on the global scale where we have compared two different alternatives to do the sustainable world. The first one is to only do renewables and energy storage, and the second alternative is that we do renewables, energy storage, but we also add balancing engine power plants. And what we can see is that you save a lot of money if you do the second alternative with the engine power plants versus the first one. And we also see that we reduce the CO2 faster if we also add the engine power plants to the system.
A low cost, low emission, but a highly efficient and a highly flexible power system.
All the technologies that we need are already there in order to decarbonize the power system. That gives me a lot of confidence in that we can do this decarbonization.
What gives me the most hope is that it's not too late to make changes today that will enable a better and a greener tomorrow.
I'm not saying it's an easy journey. It's certainly a journey that will take time, but the technologies are here. And I would say that, if you zoom out a little bit, you see that the transition is certainly there and it's actually accelerating.
We can all see climate change in our daily lives. And I think I'm very proud that we are able to contribute to make sure that the use of renewables is accelerated and we're able to contribute to a decarbonization of our planet. So really very passionate about that and super proud to be part of that journey.